Alright, welcome back to another Axis and Allies 1942 online video. This will be the start of a new series showcasing my participation throughout Season 10 of the Solos tournament, taking place on the Axis and Allies Discord. So, with the Solos format, first begins the group stage. There are 64 players with 16 groups of 4. Each player plays each other once, so that will be 3 games for the group stage total for each player. Top 2 of each group proceed to the next stage to continue the standard knockout format until the finals. In this game, I will be facing off against Duck and Cover, who has been a previous Platinum. Never played him before, so I'm not too sure what to expect here. Right, enough yapping. Let's get on with the game here. Alright, Russia round 1. Not going to reinvent the wheel here. Full standard, 4 infantry, 2 tanks. And the 9-12 attack. And wishing Russia good luck. Yep, 9-12. West Russia first. Alright, good stuff. That is 1 above average, I'll take that. The bomber hit, that's usually a pretty bad sign. Okay. Alright, that's a pretty good start for Russia. I think what I'm going to do... I'm going to leave these tanks open, so Germany can just... Do I want to do that? Yeah. I'll leave Ukraine an easy picking for Germany. I don't really want to deal with a tank rush. Those games tend to be quite repetitive. Do the same moves, first 3-4 rounds. So I'm just going to offer a very easy Ukraine. Germany can just do a standard buy and a standard game. And with 7 in West Russia, I have a pretty good Russia round 2 strafe with the additional tanks. I don't need to send it. I might want to keep it. I don't know. I've never played Duck before, so I don't know his risk tolerance at all. I'll keep it. If I need it for India, I'll send it Russia too. Fine. Right. Average start. Slightly above average in West Russia. I'll take it. Right, that is the end of Russia round 1, and I'll be back with UK round 1. Alright, UK round 1. Bomber, 2 artilleries, and 7 infantry for Germany. Infantry artillery to Italy, and the rest into Berlin. Took Karelia for 3, killed the destroyer in 17. Took Transjordan, losing an infantry. Took Ukraine, losing an infantry. did the 5-1 split and got a completely flawless result in the Atlantic. So yeah, this is a pretty strong start for Germany. There's no realistic way I can get a fleet down until the US arrive. So that'll be around UK 3. Especially if Germany buys more aircraft and further dead zones it. There's not really much I can do about it. So yeah, a very strong start for Germany. But I will say that Germany has given Russia a very easy turn. Easy in quotes. It depends on the dice, of course. But Russia could actually trade all 3 territories quite cheaply. So at least Russia has a simple turn. Right, the buy will be 3 infantry for India and 2 fighters. Just going to buy Air Force and send it into the center of the board. And prepare for India defense. Alright. I will be killing the battleship here. Season 61, of course, and I'm going to sack the transport. So that this fighter can just go to West Russia, or be used to attack Yunnan, or worst case scenario, Japan, high rolls, Szechuan. Because I can't send the UK fighter here, since I'm killing the battleship. And I'm going to ignore the cruiser. Because on the off chance the subs do not flee in the fleet and actually roll a 1, cruiser dies, the cruiser then gets a hit. That's a plane loss. I'm just not interested in losing a plane. So I'll wait until I can actually get a foothold in the Atlantic before killing that cruiser. I can kill it with air anytime I want. It's not necessary to kill. And there's no threat on UK if I kill the transport. So, yeah, not ideal for UK. The UK's gonna have like no fleet, only 1 transport. From 39 that will survive most likely. All right, good stuff. Cannot argue with a flawless dice rolling there for the UK. All right, good stuff. So I think there's a 1 in 6 chance that, I think it's roughly 1 in 6 that UK gets double hit back here. So Japan should send both battleships to negate that possibility. Because if I can kill that destroyer, my allied subs can infiltrate for a turn and harass. Oh, I don't actually need anything. Move a couple guys into Persia here to reinforce Kazakh next turn, needed. And depending on Japan's turn, I will be able to retaliate on Egypt. Unlikely though, if Germany does fully push, I can't really retaliate. These units are needed for India defense. Yeah, this is actually very rare that I completely ignore Atlantic. There's not really much I can do, but Germany just need to. What am I saying? US needs to kill 10. All right. Yep, good stuff. Yep, the sub will submerge if Japan does Pearl, so if Japan overcommits, get a pretty good strafe or KGF with US only. Not a bad idea. Alright. That's the end of UK round 1, and I'll be back with USA round 1. Right, USA round 1. Japan with triple transport, infantry tank. 3 transports to 60, everything else into Japan. Took out the transport in 34. Took out the cruiser carrier in 61. That is probably the riskiest Sea Zone 61 I've seen in a while. Battleship destroyer against carrier cruiser. That's a little wild to me. I'm actually interested. I've never seen someone do that. That's quite risky. Yeah, it's only an 80%, and normally Japan's having 96 plus odds on this. That's wild. Wild. If I had gotten the double hit back there, that destroyer would be dead. Right? Crazy. Yunnan, I lost an infantry. Attacked Pearl Harbor, killing fighter carrier, destroyer, losing a fighter submarine. Did full Pearl Harbor, okay. The cruiser alive. Okay, I get to kill that. Lost an infantry and on way and took Bury, no units lost. Okay, well, I'm not sure why the fleet's in 37 still. And another thing, Japan sent their planes to Solomons, which is risky, considering I have 2 transports and 2 bombards and 2 separate attacks that I could go for and try and kill some air force. Well, actually, no, I suppose this is blocked, so it's only the UK. No, it's not that risky then. Never mind. Normally planes go in wake, but I don't think it doesn't really matter here. UK's only gonna have an infantry cruiser against it. Unlikely to get a plane. Okay. Alright, well, don't need to do anything too crazy with the US, just the standard 2 infantry, 2 transport destroyer carrier. And I don't think I'm doing any combat besides 10. I'm not going to take Morocco. There's no point. Could go for the cruiser with the US bomber. Maybe. Why just all in 10? Because, you know, if that sub gets a hit and you can't kill it, it's just so annoying. Submarine fighter. I have 2 fighters. 4. fine. Okay, well, Japan's build suggests maybe a J3 timing. I think I'm fine though. I should be able to stack West of Russia without my tanks. I think I can leave my Russian tanks in Caucasus. So if J3 is apparent from J2's positioning, I can send the tanks down. The tanks will cover for the fact that I can't do Ceylon 45. Yeah. Oh, and Japan failed Burma. That's one thing. I did forget to cover that. Yeah. So I'll take that. I might actually attack French Indo, the fighter infantry. If I could just kill the unit, great, because it's one less unit on the timing. I guess I'll send the extra plane. Just overkill it. Overkill both these targets. Alright, beautiful stuff. Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay. Does Jeremy pull off the 1 in 6? Okay. I mean, that's hilarious. It is. That's why you all in, right? But luckily for me, I didn't. Jeremy missed, right? So ridiculous. Alright. Fighter. Cruiser will come to 11. I don't want to go to 12 because kind of worth Jeremy chucking a lone sub at that. Yeah, I guess I have nothing to do with these units. Transport. Alright, that's not happening. Yep, just stack it, right? Bomber. I'm gonna have the bomber sit in Western because I want to pressure 63. That fighter might as well move into 3, right? My planes have nowhere else to go this time. Yeah, that's it, right? Just gotta hope I get a hit back here so I don't have to worry about the other sub. I don't think I'm missing anything. It's a fairly simple turn. Russia. I'm gonna do 4 and 4. I want some extra teeth. All the Russians here. You can hit this. Now, this is tempting. It is a little tempting to commit these 3 units here. One, 2, 4. If I move this guy back, that look like. Four versus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 versus 4. 2 fighters, 2 infantry. I mean, I could hold that position. I will do... I don't mind trading a little hard here. It's very interesting. I think I'll just confirm Aurelia here. Stop the German using the recruit slots. I don't have to worry about Kazakh this game. There's no Japanese air range to really threaten it. It's interesting. I could leave that. Yeah, it's 2 fighters, 2 infantry. It's not really a nice battle to take. They do get cut off. Don't really like standing around here. Yeah, interesting. I'll leave 1 tank in West Russia just to blitz this for free. Yeah, right. Good luck to the Russians then. Outstanding there. Okay, good stuff. Was a bit worried there. Took Karelia, excellent stuff. I'll send the AA gun down to compensate for the fact that I've left the tank in West Russia. Yeah, so 10, 1, 1, and 5, and 1. Yeah, Germany hitting that is just suicide. I didn't calculate if I could dead zone this for a further turn with a tank purchase. I just gave it an eyeball with the amount of numbers Germany could bring in, and I didn't really like it. I didn't like it at all, so I just gave up. Just do a standard 4 and 4 build here. Yeah, this is interesting. Either I leave 2 infantry here, and then Japan is forced to then commit both infantry, then Japan will have to go to expansion route to take Soviet Far East in the same turn. Yeah, I like that. 2 guys. Do I just give up? Do I just give it up? Yeah, sure, I'll leave 2 guys there. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. It's a good little wall. It requires Japan to actually attack this. It's some of their planes. Arguably out of position in Bury. I'll take it. Alright, good round for Russia. I'm kind of tempted to put an AA gun in Ukraine. I don't think Japan will go for India. If they do, I can get odds to defend, and I'll just set up a retake. If Japan goes for a dicey battle, I have retake options. I don't expect it to go very well. I'm actually really wanting to put an AA gun here. If Germany can't stack Ukraine, this is very annoying. This AA gun, very annoying. I am forcing the issue by Germany having to commit a couple tanks to the cause. So I get to kill some tanks. I want to put all my artillery here, but I'll leave one infantry so that I can send one down to Persia if needed. Yeah, I do like that. Alright, good stuff. Yep. 31 IPC for Russia. Very, very good round 2 there. I find that amount of money making for Russia quite rare. Very, very rare. It is nice to see it again. 50 attack power. 31 IPC. I could buy more tanks. I could buy a fighter if I wanted, or I'd just play full standard max infantry. Cannot go wrong with infantry artillery for Russia, especially for Russia. Yeah, I'm liking the position despite Germany's dominance over the Atlantic. I am liking it. And if Japan goes for India, I think I can set it up as a trap and go for retake. Alright, that is the end of USA round 1 and Russia round 2, and I'll be back with UK round 2. Alright, UK round 2 here. 8 infantry, 2 artillery, and a fighter for the Germans. Fighter to Italy with 2 artilleries, 8 infantry to Berlin. Blitzed Bello and Egypt. Yeah, took Bello for free, took Ukraine, killing 2 infantry, 1 air gun, 1 artillery, losing only 1 infantry, which is actually a pretty good result, despite sending planes. That little gambit did not work. And yeah, took Karelia, losing an infantry. Yeah, I think Russia is just going to trade hard. Yeah. Bello, Ukraine. Yeah. Right, so a pretty interesting move by Germany here, sending the cruiser submarine. Interesting move. It does deny me taking Morocco. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's not a bad move. Never really done it myself, to be honest. But the Battleship Destroyer is going there naturally anyway. And once this fleet's dead, I'm just gonna non-com into 23 and unload. And then the US will be in time, I think. Yeah, Germany, US, Germany. I might be able to block by going here. So US does arrive still before Germany floods into Africa. Yeah, I'll take this. I shouldn't be taking any losses when engaging this. And it gives me something for my planes to do, because they would normally do nothing on this turn anyway. They'd just be moving into 13. Yeah, I'll definitely take it. This destroyer might just stay in 10 just to keep the sea zones in check, to keep that sub away. Okay. Not bad. But it looks like Russia's going to get a tank out of this. I will heavy trade this, I think. to kill that tank. I do think it's worth it. I might try 1-to-1 Bello and focus on Ukraine. So air raid Bello for Russia here. I don't know if that's worth it though. Save me. Do I need to risk my air force? Maybe not yet. I don't know what Japan's doing. I don't know if they're going for India. So I'll probably hold off on air raiding. I think the game is even. Allies might be slightly behind because of the Atlantic situation, and Japan won was pretty good, besides Burma. So maybe Axis have a slight lead, but I don't feel too pressured. Now, UK are by probably be 3 infantry and 2 more fighters. Infantry, artillery, tank, get some teeth for Burma. So I do threaten a strafe. I'll take a shot at French Indo. Hopefully I just kill the unit. Best case scenario, I conquer. But the unit's death is quite important. This cruiser will probably just move to 10. Yep. Good luck to the UK. Yep, figures. Unfortunate missing the double 50-50. Not really a whole lot I could have done there. Submarine to 39. 39 over 45. Because I want to get to 30. 30 is often a safe spot. If Japan does not put their destroyer in 36. If the destroyer stays in 61 and I put the sub in 45, I can't push forward like the same way I want to. Alright, yep. I think I can get away with just landing everything. I don't need unless I leave my air force in Transjordan. Because the planes still go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. I will actually take a look at West Russia here. Alright, I did a little guess calculation, assuming the US fighter does move to India. I've got okay odds to hold, 60%. With bonus units, it's a rough calculation. I have the odd Russian still lying about. So I could probably send an extra Russian fighter if it's needed for India. This assumes that I kill the unit here, and I send 3 infantry, 1 artillery into Ukraine. It is a heavy trade. I do want to kill that tank. Alright, I think that's everything. India's safe. I do actually want to leave my planes here, just to protect that tank. Yeah, the fighters still go 1, 2, 3 and land. They're still in range of West Russia if I'm desperate. It stops the tank bomber. I mean, of course, Germany could just YOLO into it and pray for 2 hits. But most cases, they both die in the first round, so I don't know why you'd risk that. Unless you're just going for a complete desperate India play, but that's not really recommended. Yeah, this does assume that I only have 1 tank in West Russia here. These 2 are free to go. Still holdable for at least one more round. I don't think I've missed anything. This guy makes moves here next turn. Yes, sack carrier, US sack. Well, all right. Yep. Unfortunate round for UK. Didn't even get to kill the unit. So I guess this exchange overall is an even exchange, which Japan benefits from because they had a pretty flawless Japan 1. Unfortunate for me. Alright, that is the end of UK round 2, and I'll be back with USA round 2. Right, USA round 2 here. Japan 2, with 3 infantry, 1 tank, 1 fighter, 2 artilleries. All into Japan, of course. Took Burma for free. Took Xinjiang, Szechuan for free. Took back Kwangtung, losing an infantry. Then failed Yakut, losing 2 infantry, killing 1, retreating with 2 fighters. I'll definitely take that. Very nice result there. Alright, so good news here. Japan's not going for India, so I can step off the gas here and focus on defending West Russia entirely now. The West Russian odds are very comfortable, roughly 96% odds now. I'm not playing with odds anymore to try and juggle both. So that's excellent news for me. Okay. Yeah, Japan moved a couple guys into Szechuan as well. Unloaded into Buri. Now I do have an attack on 62. This bomber can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm actually going to ignore it. I don't see the reason to take a risk here. This buy from Japan it's not what I usually see on a Japan 1, Japan 2 I mean. Even if Japan goes expansion route, you normally see the IC or double transport. I think my opponent's playing just a little bit inefficiently, so I don't think I need to take risks. I think I'll catch up if I just play as standard as I can. Minimizing risk for now, until something drastic is needed. So I'm going to ignore this. It's only for 1 transport. If it was 2, I'd probably go for it. But 1, it's not really worth the price of a bomber that's going to die next turn. So, alright, with the US here, 5 infantry, 1 artillery, transport carrier. I'm going to get a second carrier. This is not the usual round 2 buy for US for me, but since I've been blocked, can't unload to take territory. I'm not sacking any transports, so I just need ground, not many transports. I'll get the second carrier, so I might threaten a medshuk. Maybe, probably not. We'll see. Alright, let's clear season 12 here. One, two. Good stuff. 1, 2, yeah, want the bomber. That fighter. that fighter. This fighter I will leave out of the combat. I want to fly it to UK. And that is it. I could attack Xinjiang, but I'm going to wait to use these units to trade back Kazakh and Novo here. To be honest, I might be able to stack Kazakh. I might have to look at that before I end my US turn. No kill like overkill, of course. Why I sent both destroyers. Now I'm gonna do a bit of an unorthodox setup here. I'm gonna do a one-shot landing in French West Africa here. That matches the unit count, well, it exceeds it by 1 of the German garrison in Africa. So if Germany pushes here, G3, USA, US3, Germany cannot push forward. I have more ground than him. This transport just move into 10. Bomber. 2 fighters will land on the carrier. They have nothing better to do this turn, so go here. Move the cruiser to 10. Have 2 infantry, 2. I prefer Moscow. Because Moscow allows US to pressure Novo. I guess I should move it down, block him. What we're doing here, this guy come here, this guy. I'm gonna leave Zach unblocked. And all UK moves in, if they can. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can stack Kazakh here. Okay, I will scratch that idea. I think it's a little overcommittal for the allies to try and stack it round 2. He's got some good attack power and range of it. I'll just give it up, it's fine. I suppose US could go to Caucasus. If US goes to Caucasus, then they go to Persia. Japan tries to go for India. Any other point? I don't think it's needed. Just go to West Russia, Moscow. I mean. All right, that is it. I'm pretty sure. This fighter goes to UK. Yeah, the idea is that these 3 transports will just go straight to 10 next turn. And I should have almost enough units for a full shuck straight into Finland. USA 4. If not, it's fine, they can come back to 11. Because I might want to threaten Medshuck still. So, with 31 IPC, could get 9 and 1. Could get 7 and a fighter. Quite rare for me to get another fighter. I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea. On a good day, Russia makes 25 income next turn. I take Ukraine. You know what? Let's get a fighter. I'm normally against getting fighters with Russia, but The exception is if Russia makes 31 IPC for me. Definitely. Yeah, let's get another fighter. Why not? Let's have some fun here. Oh, yes. Right, I think I want 3 and 1 with 2 fighters. And that will be the only combat. Alright, good luck to Russia. Wow, absolutely zero problems there. Unbelievable. I am tempted to put my last AA gun there, to be honest. Yeah, I'll let Japan take that for free if he wants. That's fine. The West of Russia, I'm pretty sure is completely safe. We've got 12 infantry, 4 artillery, 3 tanks, 5 fighters, an AA gun against 9 infantry, 8 tanks, 4 fighters. Forgot the bomber. Okay. Yeah, 94%. Yeah, it kind of annoys me that I've overcommitted. I've seemed to have overcommitted, but of course you can't account for the dice, of course. I'm not complaining, of course. That was a terrific result. But even that without an AA gun, it's like grinding my gears. Because Germany cannot stack shift into it. It's dead zoned. So, do I go for a second try? I might be able to bleed some more tanks out, actually. Yeah, I actually like it. I do like it a lot. I'll go for a second try, popping some German planes. It's fine, I don't really need an AA gun in West Russia. It's fine. Great stuff for the Russians there. Yeah, there's no Archangel stack. I don't, well, yeah, not really. There is no Japanese Air Force reinforcements. Excellent there for Russia. I have it on SAC, right? Yep. Yep, 25 IPC for Russia. That's 8 more infantry. Very nice. 52 attack power is pretty good as well. Alright, that is the end of Russia round 3 and USA round 2, and I'll be back with UK round 3. Right, UK round 3. Germany with 3 artilleries, a fighter, and 7 infantry. 2 artilleries to Karelia, and then 1 fighter, 1 artillery, and 7 infantry to Berlin. Combat, stacked Egypt, attacked Ukraine. Right, this is a pretty brutal result. Crushing. Retreated with an infantry fighter. The attackers lost a bomber, fighter, 2 infantry, killing no units. Brutal. Brutal result. Damn. I'll definitely take that, of course. I'll take 2 planes away from the Germans any day of the week. But that's really crushing. And, yeah, it did take Archangel. No units lost. But that's resulted in after Germany's turn, Allies having the AP lead by 1. Which, yeah, that's very punishing. I'm very glad I put that AA gun there. It worked the second time round, which of course I'm very happy about. Alright, so for the UK buy here, I'm thinking of 2 transports, a destroyer, with 3 infantry for India. I'm going to deploy in 7, it's pretty safe. No aircraft is in range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 4. Only the sub. So UK is going to get a destroyer to deal with that sub next turn. And US will send like maybe the battleship to stop any YOLOs entirely. Yep, I don't need a carrier. So I'm just going to get my transports up and running as soon as possible. This transport will be in 10, 2 transports here, so UK has their logistics sorted out. And in fact, enough units for all of them as well. So UK will be able to start landing pretty hard straight away now. It only took 3 turns to get a fleet, but yep. Germany got a pretty strong start, but this result in Ukraine, so brutal, because this AA gun was set to die first as well. So this should have been dead, but I've kept it. So, absolutely brutal stuff. Yep, alright. I've left a couple notes for US here to support me here. Sack for Norway and attack Archangel for Russia. And yeah, I think Russia will try their luck at both of these. And yeah, good stuff. Yeah, there's no Japanese air in range. It's very safe in 7. Burma. That is it, I'm pretty sure. Beautiful. Submarine 2, 37. Because the destroyer's in 62. Right, India, what are you looking like? I'm not gonna dead zone it that hard. I can bait into a little bit. Let's have a look. +3, so I can move 1, 2, 3. I don't need the artillery here. I have my entire air force to help me trade. Bring the artillery back for some threat for a strafe. Now this tank, so currently right now 96, it's overkilled. I can bait it a little harder. I could probably send more units. Yep. In fact, what I will do, send a unit up into Caucasus. And actually what I will do is 2. So yeah, I'm baiting India a bit. Yeah, 4, 6, 8, 11 versus 9. That's not looking too good. But if Japan's going all out, I might just give up the opportunity. I don't have to hit it. I can just defend. I don't have to take a risk on an attack. Yeah. Alright, the allies are coming. 29 IPC is pretty bad for UK, but should be fine. Allies are going to start taking all this money away from Germany now, which they are making quite a bit. So yeah, the money Germany is making is softening is softening the blow of Ukraine a little bit, but that's still far too punishing for them. But yeah, AP lead for the Allies after UK, or even before UK had the AP lead by 1. So I think the Allies are looking okay, definitely. Right, that is the end of UK round 3, and I'll be back with USA round 3. Right, USA round 3. Japan with 7 infantry, 1 industry. Industry to Manchuria, 7 infantry to Japan. Took Yakut, Soviet Far East, Kazakh for 3. Took Yavenki, no units lost. And took Burma, no units lost. 2 perfect 1-to-1s there. And shuffled into Szechuan. Yep, alright, good stuff. Sent some planes to Karelia. I don't think that's really going to stop me from getting an Atlantic presence. I'm here now, so yeah, I think Allies are looking good here. Alright, with the US here, 8 infantry, 2 more transports as the buy. Going to sack a transport for Norway. I'm going to attack Archangel to kill the unit, hopefully. I'm actually going to take France because I want either Germany just to trade it, or Germany is forced to send everything from Berlin to try stack it, instead of sending some planes to cheaply hold it. Yeah, so if Germany sends everything, that's less reinforcements east as well. Yeah, that is it, I'm pretty sure. Right, good luck to the US. Taking France with US is it's nice. I had a feeling this would happen. Wow, brutal. I want to sack my bomber off. No. Right, very unfortunate for US there, but I think the air raid was still justified. Sucks a lot. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. So this is under threat. That's an unnecessary plane loss there. I just had a little gut feeling I was just gonna get played around there, but it's fine. Yeah, sub can just stay there, I guess. I don't really want to move into 64. Hilarious. Yeah, just leave the battleship here. The battleship is safe on its own next turn against the Japanese lone bomber. I'm not too fussed about it. Yeah, does Germany hit the fleet? I don't think so. Straight up 6v6. Doesn't look very good. One transport as well. I don't see the reason to. Yeah, I suppose the game gave back because of that horrid Ukraine for Germany, so I had to give something compensation, of course. Yep, that looks pretty good. A full shuck. I can retake Norway if Germany goes for a retake. And there's a lot of strength against France as well, so Germany will have to overcommit everything. The Japanese air does make it easier to hold. That's really annoyed me. Yeah, so if Germany pushes forward here, I have this ground force and a bomber. So I do like my odds on wiping that out. So I think Germany can only really like trade Transjordan. But UK has the ability to trade back since India is not under threat. Eight infantry, 7 infantry, 1 artillery. Alright, well, I'm going to be taking the hard-earned Archangel. I think 2 infantry. $19, $21, $22, $24, $26 on a good day. What I will do that. No chance I want to retreat. Alright, good luck to Russia. Let's put all the planes to action here. I just want to kill the unit in Bulgaria. Oh, beautiful. Wow, 3 for 3 plane hits in the first round. Now that is a rarity for me. I've not really played much Allies recently, but I always remember that the Russian fighters can be some of the most disappointing units on the board. That is quite a relief. Okay. I'm gonna calculate West Russia. I want to offer like a 20%, maybe even 25%. I don't expect Germany to take that. Because I want to hard stack Moscow and Caucasus so I can threaten potentially to stack Kazakh next turn. Alright, I'm going to have West Russia at 75%. Germany's got a 23.8% to win the battle. Minus 27 attacker profit. This is an all-in, a German all-in, which means that they're sacrificing very efficient trades against allies. And these targets as well. I can get away with that, I think. Yeah, because Germany's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 territories to trade. Yeah, it's not really something Germany wants to hit. You're hitting into 9 fighters as well. It's just not. I wouldn't say that's particularly attractive to hit. What I'll probably do is reset another artillery. Just to make it. I want more of my teeth on Kazakh here. I really want to stop any YOLO attempts. I think UK will always be in Caucasus anyway, so I'm just gonna move one extra dude, it's fine. Defensive profiles, carrier keep. Ideally, this is on sack now. (26) IPC for Russia, very nice. Another 8 ground, definitely take it. Alright, that is the end of Russia round 4 and USA round 3, and I'll be back with UK round 4. Alright, UK round 4. 14 infantry for Germany. 2 to Italy, 2 to Karelia, and 10 to Germany. Killed the transport in 3. Took back France, no units lost. Took Bulgaria, no units lost. Lost a unit in Ukraine. Killed 2, losing 1 in Bello. Took Archangel, and took Trans, no units lost. So overall, a pretty good round for Germany there. Yeah, France is particularly annoying, so hopefully UK can actually retake it without too much trouble. So yeah, Germany's of course continue to move forward into Karelia. And actually stack Transjordan, which is an interesting move. Because I could wipe this out if I wanted to. Yeah. Very interesting. But I think I might just ignore it. I'm not sure why else you would stack there other than to try and entice me to hit it and bleed a bunch of UK units and basically make this group of US units redundant. So I've just wasted my time dumping these guys. So I might actually just ignore it and wait for the US to deal with it for me. If I hit this and he gets good hitbacks, then that's a pretty good unit bleed for the UK in the center of the board. Yeah, I think I will ignore it. And I'm probably going to double stack Persia and India, because I want to make sure that round 5 I might stack Kazakh, I think. Yeah, I'm giving up West Russia this turn. It's just a little too expensive to hold now for what I want to do, and that is double stack this. I also need to send some UK planes back to the United Kingdom for a carrier next round. Yeah, I would get a carrier this round for UK, but it is a little too expensive for the money that UK is making. So I'm going to skip it this round, get it next round, and just make sure I have enough ground for both India and UK. With 7 infantry, 1 artillery. Yep. So yeah, I'm resorting to relying on bombards, so I do hope they don't both miss. I'm going to hit Ukraine. Burma, take Egypt. And that is the combat. US will kill the unit in Archangel again. I am assuming that Japan is taking Vologda for free and not going here, so I should be able to trade this back relatively easy for US and not have to lose a plane again. UK desperately needs this money. Okay, double hit back is unnecessary. Okay, that's fine. I would prefer Russia take that money, but UK does need the money as well. One. Pretty sure that's it, right? That's what I want. India's safe. It's overkilled, in fact. Could actually move more into Persia. 6 to 5. I want the AA gun in Persia, because Germany could actually send some planes down. Persia, 6 infantry, 1 AA gun, 2 tanks, 1 fighter. Might have to overstack it, because I don't... Germany doesn't hit that, that's crazy. On average, I have 2 infantry, 1 tank, 1 fighter left, with this garrison and plus 3 German planes. which has 3 German planes out of position, which is something you rarely want to do. I think this is fine. Yeah, I just don't see the worth in hitting Transjordan with UK. I'll just wait for the US to arrive. He's going to want to take back Egypt, so that will allow US to get some German kills. Artillery to UK, 3 infantry to India, and then the rest into United Kingdom as well. I do think this is pretty important, making sure that the UK is very solid here. I don't want any unnecessary bleed against Germany here. Though it is recommended to trade UK against Germany, I think this part of the map is the exception. I do want to make sure the UK can always trade for Russia if need be, for whatever reason. I think that's fine. I mean, US moves here. Germany might get a whole infantry extra for an extra turn, but I think that's fine. I don't know, maybe I come to regret it later. But I think there's logic in what I'm saying. I don't know why else he'd move into a dead zone, other than to bleed UK units. It's what I like to do. My German stack, I like to move it, instead of getting traded against the US, with the US units in Africa, I like to put myself in harm's way against the UK. Yeah, so I suppose, yeah, as Axis, I do often do this. With the intent on trying to bleed some units in the center of the board. Alright, 43 IPC for UK. Game's definitely even. It makes sense. Despite G2 Ukraine, both G1 and J1 were actually above average. Alright, that's the end of UK round 4, and I'll be back with USA round 4. Alright, USA round 4. 7 infantry, 3 artilleries, and a destroyer for Japan. Destroyer to Zeno 60. 2 artilleries, 5 infantry to Japan, and then 2 infantry, 1 artillery to Manchuria. Took Vologda, Novo for 3, and then lost an infantry taking Kazakh, killing 2. Shuffled up into China. Sent some more air to Karelia. Okay, well, I'm not sure why Japan felt the need for a destroyer, but I'll take that. There's 2 less ground that I'll have to deal with in the future. I'm not really sure the purpose of that, but I'd take that as a little win. Okay, well, US here with 5 infantry, 2 artilleries, transport industry, save the 2. Alright, so Archangel definitely. I'm going to kill that submarine. Move into Morocco. I want am I taking this? 2, 3. Could land there, I guess. I'm gonna have a lone US carrier and fighter in 8 potentially against 4 planes. I don't know if UK is gonna move from 8, but if Germany stacks France, I kind of need to move with the. I suppose I can't with this fleet. I suppose it's fine. Just to trade Northwestern for a turn. Not the best. Yuck. It's not the best, but. Alright, that's fine, yep. I do need to take the territory, so I'm willing to commit the artillery. It's quite mandatory to take, actually. Well, if Germany wants to trade against Finland, I suppose that's fine. Yeah, I suppose that is. I think I have a perfect shuck going on here. I have 9 for 4 transports, so I do have an extra, that's why I've bought only 7. Right, that is the combat, I'm pretty sure. Alright, hopefully I can just kill the unit this time and not have to lose a plane. There you go. Might be tempted to put the AA gun infantry to Finland. Germany so far has had very bad experience with AA guns, so you'll be quite hesitant to throw planes at that one, that's for sure. .44, I guess. Once allies are established, meaning that UK needs their own carrier, I might transition to a medshuk if it's advantageous for me to do so. Probably not. Germany's got a nice air force. Japan looks like they're keeping some in Europe as well, so that makes holding sea zones a lot more difficult. Alright, good stuff, yeah. Cannot complain. Alright, on a good day, let's see. On a good day, that's 15, 17, 19, 21. 21 if I don't save the money. Yeah, so I might as well spend it, right? 15, 21. Yeah, I might as well spend it. If UK didn't take Ukraine, I would have enough for 24 if I saved. But I might as well spend my money. This way first. How am I going to do this? I'm gonna see what I need to, if I can try and stack both here. Alright, so I've done a rough calculation. Kazakh and India are roughly like 90 plus, 96 plus percent. I have so much surplus units to hold both. I'm not gonna bother trying to stack Vologda yet. That will have to wait until next round. It does depend on Germany's turn. I think Germany might be able to double stack both Karelia and West Russia. UK is really unlikely to ever move into 5 until they have a carrier, so they don't really have to worry about a UK punch. Unless it's really profitable, but it has to be really something. But yeah, I think as long as Japan sends the majority of their planes, and Germany sends all their planes to Karelia, I think, yeah, Axis can definitely double stack this position, which is pretty strong. Pretty strong. It might open up to potential cheap hold of France. Well, maybe not, I'm not sure. US has the majority of their firepower on France, so I'm not too sure about that. But, you know, there's 3 Japanese fighters and a bomber. So Axis might be able to play a pretty good move stacking both this and this, which limits allied options for sure. But I'm going to stack here because that should back off Japan from Xinjiang, I'd guess. They could probably stack Szechuan, no problem, but they would have to hide in Evenki and Szechuan. I want to get some units into the center of the board from UK. These units are kind of like surplus. I don't really need them here anymore. So I want them to move into Kazakh. Alright, I think these will be the attacks. Alright, good luck to the Russians. Alright, good stuff. Oh, beautiful. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, what is that? 1, 2, 6, 7. 7, yeah, that's not happening. It's not happening at all, I don't think. Yeah, 7 versus 9 plus 7 versus 13. Yeah, that's really unlikely. I don't even think the yellow's worth it. Well, if he wanted to, he could stack Ukraine, or try to. But he didn't want to stack West Russia. He could leave his infantry stack in Karelia, take Belo and Ukraine, and then stack shift his tanks into Ukraine. He could do that. That would preserve his income, but if you can stack West Russia, you should ideally go for that over Ukraine. I probably could have held West Russia for a further turn, but I do prefer completely locking down the center of the board. All the allies here. Yeah, AP's. I think allies are catching up slowly on AP. Japan's not actively going for expansion, so I'm taking an extra 3 for UK and 1 for US, which I'll obviously take. Yeah, if Japan's not going to go expansion, I think if I just hold out until the long game, I win the eco, definitely. Alright, that is the end of Russia round 4 and Russia round 5, USA round 4, and I'll be back with UK round 5. Right, UK round 5. Germany with 14 infantry, 2 to Karelia, 2 to Italy, 10 to Germany. Lost an infantry taking back France, and then suffered no losses taking northwestern Ukraine, Belo, West Russia, and Egypt. So that was a very good round for Germany. Very unfortunate, I do need some hitbacks here. I'm trying to stretch Germany thin with all these trades, and if he's going to take no losses, that's going to make my job a lot more difficult. Okay. Yeah, Germany stacked West of Russia and Karelia. Move back to Egypt. Okay, so with UK, 7 infantry, 2 artillery, carrier. While I have the money, I'm going to get my carrier up. And then in the future, I might be able to get a plane a turn. Yep, that's the plan. Okay, so I'm going to try and take Burma. I'm going to actually blitz and hit Egypt with 2 tanks, 3 fighters. Because if Japan sends a fighter to Egypt, US only has 60% to clear, and if I get diced in Africa here, Germany can punch out, then that's just really bad for the Allies. So I'm going to soften it with UK first. So US gets a very easy take. Average for a 1-round strafe is I lose both tanks, so I shouldn't be losing a plane here, hopefully. But we'll see how many hitbacks Germany gets after that German turn. think I want to all in. France. Or do I try and... What if I try and do this? I have bombards and I have planes. I should be able to conquer with this. Depending on the result, I'm going to put an AA gun down. Alright, that should do it for UK. All of these units are actually just going to move into Kazakh here. India is safe. Yep, alright, good luck to the UK. Wow, okay, that's horrific. Okay, 2 hitbacks. Alright, I take Burma, very nice. But I really don't want to lose a plane here, but I need to do damage. Oh, that's perfect. I'll definitely take that. That's above average. By 1, I want to say, I think. Yeah, I don't have to go again. There's no point. I'll definitely take that. Planes. Land here. Problem is Japan, not Japan. Germany's gonna just be able to stack shift now, I think, into France. Because the Japanese are here, I wouldn't be surprised if Japan sends the other plane across. So that's 4 planes. So it's not really worth the AA gun, if I'm being honest. Maybe if I didn't take 2 hits, might be worth it. I think US will back off for the time being. I don't think I can really stack this. I'll look on US's turn if I do an all-in, but I don't think it's possible. It gives Germany just too much of a good strafe I'm willing to offer. 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 6. So I'll have 6 infantry, 2 artilleries, 3 fighters, 1 bomber. Move an infantry artillery across. Don't really need to do that. I have take back, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, very easy take back. I'll keep the artillery behind. I'll move an extra infantry forward. I would like to threaten a strafe still. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Send 2 guys across. There's no problem there. And then if we have a look at Kazakh, AA gun 17, 4, and 3. Very comfortable 98%, overwhelming minus 73 attacker profit. That's not happening. But I'm gonna overstack it very heavily, so Japan doesn't suicide to soften Zach, and then it might give Germany odds on Moscow. I don't think Axis need to do that. I think their game is even. It might be slightly ahead, I'm not too sure. Germany's pretty strong. But as you can see, Russia is also pretty strong. Still have one extra unit. I forgot I had the AA gun. So I can save a unit next round, that's fine. I might buy some bombers that will allow UK to trade both if needed. Yeah, that was definitely worth the tanks. Alright, amazing stuff. I did calculate a Japanese attempt on Moscow, but it's close to 0%. It's not happening. Want it on just in case. Right, 35, not too bad for UK. Yeah. Allies are slightly behind on AP, but the income should slowly bring the gap to even. Alright, that is the end of UK round 5, and I'll be back with USA round 5. Alright, welcome back to USA round 5. Japan with 8 infantry, 1 tank, 1 fighter, 1 artillery. Fighter, artillery, 6 infantry to Japan with 2 infantry and a tank to Manchuria. Took Burma, Vologda, and Archangel. No units lost. 3 perfect 1-to-1 trades. Yeah, that's certainly less than ideal. Filling off Vologda and Archangel and Burma for like that. That's really not good. And Germany just had a pretty good round and losing 1 infantry. Yeah, that can't continue. I'm gonna need some hit back somewhere. That's that's not ideal at all. Hopefully that does stop. Alright, with the US here, 7 infantry, 3 artilleries, and a bomber. US will attack northwestern Vologda, take Egypt and Libya. Pretty sure that's it. I'm going to stack Finland and offer Germany a 50-50, straight up 50-50. I don't want to back off from Finland. So yeah, I think Russia's just going to abandon Kazakh here. Germany has 0 odds. So yeah, that's fine. I think next round, if Germany stays in West Russia, I'm gonna soft stack Vologda. I think, if I can. This should be dead zoned. If Japan's just gonna yellow stack into it, I will have a very, very good strafe on it. And I don't even need my planes. I have over 38 units dead zoning Kazakh. Roughly 38 units dead zoning, and that's not including my planes. So I shouldn't see any YOLO stacks here. It makes 0 sense. Alright. Now, I will trade Northwestern because I do want to trade Germany down a little bit. I'm not going to include the tank because I want to blitz the tank to Transjordan, and I'm going to bomb the unit in Vologda. Hopefully I kill it, so Russia can take the territory for free. and everything is fine, I'm pretty sure. If I fail Northwestern to conquer, I don't think I need to reinforce the UK fleet. It should be safe. Yeah, what is that? 5, 6, it's a 6v6. Don't know why Germany would do that when they should focus on trades. You don't kill the full UK logistics, so... Yep. Good luck to the US. Alright, how many hitbacks is Germany going to get this round? Let's see. But they've already outdone the Allied performance. Killed 2, ridiculous. Wow, okay. Unbelievable. That's really bad. Yeah, it's definitely a little shift in dice currently. That's not very nice. Let's have a look. Germany had that bad rush. When did Germany get bad dice? Round 3, G4 was okay, G5 was outstanding, J5 was outstanding, another 1-to-1 there. Was Burma 1-to-1? So what, 5 1-to-1s successful for Japan already? I don't know. Yakut did fail. Oh, that is nasty work, truly. It's really unfortunate. I really needed to. I guess I have to send infantry artillery because I need some money back. I can't have this nonsense happen. Hopefully Russia can take this 1-to-1. But all my Russian planes are needed for Finland. So I can't send a plane to Vologda. It just can't happen. Right, I have a full shuck next round, that's fine. Yeah, killing 2 in Egypt's a little silly as well. Alright, well, it is what it is, I guess. There's not really much I can do about it. Well, at least I bought a replacement bomber, I guess, so it's not too bad. It's a very unnecessary loss for free. I would obviously be annoyed if I lost it, but I didn't even kill the unit. So, I just wasted my time. I don't think Germany's going to air raid Norway. Doesn't make too much sense. Japan's doing the artillery, the mass artillery purchase, which I don't really like. But when the artilleries mount up like this, Japan's attack strength does get quite ridiculous. I suppose that might be why Axis have a larger AP count than I'm used to at this stage. I normally just go straight infantry. But the artillery is useless if it's not actively pressuring major targets, so I do have that going for me. Alright, let's see if Russia gets a little bit more luck. Yeah, I didn't want to do that, but I guess I'll go for it. Is it needed? 16. I get 19 on a good day, but I don't rely on Archangel here. That's why I wanted this to be clear, so I could get 18 for 6 more units, but I must bleed some more Russians here. Alright, good luck to Russia. You definitely need it this round. Show the Americans how it's done. Yep. Hopefully I can actually take this territory, get lucky enough here. Ooh. Okay. Right. I might have UK just kill that unit. One less Japanese unit. If I have planes to spare, I might send some planes to Vologda. Or I send the AA gun there. Now, I'm a little tempted to. I could actually mini stack it right now. Because I don't think Germany's going to take any odds on Moscow right now. So, what do I have? 20, so it'd be 27. 27, 6 and 3. I could mini stack this. And how many UK planes do I need? Ideally, I can send 2. Japan would have 1 infantry, 5 fighters and a bomber against infantry, 2 AA guns, 2 fighters. Straight coin flip. Yeah. If I leave 2 UK planes here. I don't mind baiting Moscow a little bit. Germany has a 15%. Of course, if they go for that and win, that is game. There's nothing else to be said. It's 6. 19, no, it is 26. It is 26. So a 10.1% minus 60 attacker profit. Crazy to go for, but Germany is welcome to, of course. One, two, three, 4, and then I have 1 fighter for Burma. These planes would just fly straight over to India or go 1, 2, 3, 4 to Moscow. And yeah, Finland. Finland 5, 2, 6, 8. 11, 1, 2, 6. Yeah, straight coin flip for Finland. Alright, we're looking pretty good here. I don't expect Germany to stack Caucasus. Germany could go for it. If Germany does, I'm probably going to be interested in seeing if I can get a France stack, or at least a Northwestern stack, up and running with G here. Well, I guess I could continue the funnel into Finland, but I don't think Germany would have to send everything here, right? If Germany stacks it, they lose Karelia, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Maybe with all the German Air Force, the entire German Air Force would stop UK considering a punch, and then Japan can land, so maybe Karelia's locked down, so I'd have to look for a France stack. Yeah. So Germany, I don't expect Germany to have a particularly high attack power attack. So I'd be able to try and offer like a 60% on a France. Germany's relying on mass infantry, and there's not much artillery. Then yeah, I can definitely go for that. Yeah, I think allies are okay. Axis are going straight from Russia's throat here. I think I said earlier, like, I think if allies hold out, I'm gaining income, a lot of income, because Japan's not expanding. They're just going straight for Moscow, it seems. I think if I hold out in the long run, I should be fine. But Germany's very strong. Well, I mean, they're strong. I suppose they're okay. I've seen Germany stronger at this point before. Yeah, 19, 26, 26, 6, 3. Yeah. Great stuff. Doctrines, yeah, sack my AA guns. Don't keep for some reason. UK doesn't have a bomber to sack. UK doesn't have a bomber to sack. Not sure why that's that. I guess the US bomber, yeah, the US bomber was here, that's why. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, that's 6 more ground for Russia next turn. Russia's strength is pretty good. Yeah, pretty well preserved. Russia's gonna lose like 2 ground. So yeah, Russia's doing alright. Alright, that's the end of USA round 5 and Russia round 6. And I'll be back with UK round 6. Alright, UK round 6. 11 infantry and 2 artilleries for Germany. 8 infantry, 2 artilleries to Germany, and then infantry to Karelia, 2 infantry to Italy. Took Caucasus for 3. Lost 2 infantry taking back France, killing 2. I'll definitely take that. Failed Northwestern, losing 2 infantry, retreating with a fighter. Very good result there. Took Ukraine and Archangel, no units lost. Alright, a good amount of hitbacks there, I'll definitely take that. Looks like Germany is fully stacking West Russia here. Yep, okay. Alright, well, plan is to buy 4 infantry, 2 artilleries, 2 tanks. I'm going to save the 3 for a plane next round, hopefully. Get some tanks for India, it's not a bad idea. Extra pressure on Kazakh. Yep, that will be the buy. Going to try and take France. With I want to do it. I think I want infantry tank, fighter. do infantry artillery to Baltic. I'm going to send both bombards here. Then I want 2 infantry here with a fighter support. Hopefully UK gets succeeds all 3 of them here. Now the original plan was to hit Novo here, but I'm actually going to just concentrate on Caucasus with these 2 fighters, and I want to commit 2 infantry because it doesn't really matter, I suppose, because 1 infantry should do. Then I want to, I suppose, technically, these planes could do it, but they're needed for India. This fighter, and then it's not vital to take Burma, but I think I might as well. Then I need to send an infantry and then 2 fighters here. Yeah, Japan will have a 67%, but it's an IPC negative of 13. I'm not sure if it's worth the risk, because I could just shoot down a bunch of his planes with the AA gun. So I'm really not sure. I looked to see if Karelia was stackable, but it really is not at the moment. Germany is very strong. It's just not feasible at the moment. Next round maybe, but it depends whether Germany commits to a France stack or sends more reinforcements into Baltic. Alright, that will do. Good luck to the UK. France is pretty important to succeed here. So we whiff. That's a really bad sign already. Alright, good stuff. We took it. I sent the artillery here just in case the cruisers missed. Alright. Good stuff. I don't know if Germany wants to stack shift back into Karelia. Oh, very nice. So I'm not sure if it's worth me moving the AA gun infantry forward. I really don't know. Right, perfect. Active Axis hitbacks, but I succeeded every combat, which is what matters most. Very good. That means Japan has only 4 fighters in range. There's 2 less attackers. Means India is much safer now. I could even leave 30% for Japan to take India. I really don't think that's a good idea for Japan to take, especially for a ruined Shuk. That's really not worth it. But of course, if Japan pulls off the 1 in 3, it's really bad for allies. This guy definitely needs to move here. So it's gonna be a 6v5, which I don't think's worth it at all. US will have to help me here. I'll probably just send the battleship down. Battleship destroyer against 3 fighters for 1 transport. It's not really worth it. Alright, that was a very good round for UK, I cannot complain. Yeah, I need to keep this blocked, otherwise Japan then takes Caucasus, which is just a +4 for Axis overall. That'd be +8, I think, actually, because Germany got the income, then Japan gets it, so it's a +8. I don't expect a YOLO into Kazakh. I think I've got too many planes, so Russia can actually just strafe this. I think I will have to strafe it. I can't allow Japan just to get away with that. Because if Japan YOLO stacks, Germany can take Caucasus and non-com their tanks in, and then that's it. That's Japan solidified. Very Axis favored. I decided to get some artillery. I've only got 2 planes, 2 bombards to really trade. So I want some firepower here, I think. There's still technically a pretty good 1-2 going on. UK has 4 infantry, 2 tanks, and 6 fighters. If needed. 42 IPC, that should be enough for a plane, hopefully a bomber. I would like one as UK. Yeah, it's hard to tell if the Allies have the AP lead. I think I have to check on USA's turn to really get a good understanding. Alright, that's the end of UK round 6, and I'll be back with USA round 6. Right, USA round 6. Looks like the game's about to heat up. Bomber, 2 infantry to Manchuria with 5 infantry, 1 fighter to Japan. Lost a bomber raiding Moscow, which I'll definitely take. But took Kazakh and Burma, no units lost. Stacked Kazakh, which I was not expecting. Russia will be strafing this. I'm kind of forced to hit that. So I'm hoping for a pretty good strafe for Russia here. I can't afford to take too much damage because Germany's right on the border, of course. But yeah, I was not expecting that. It really does force the issue. I don't know if it's a complete YOLO 1-2 punch on Moscow, but I think I have to strafe this 100%. Moscow is going to get a reinforcements of 6 fighters. And I'm probably just going to retreat all these men here to Moscow as well. So Russia is also buying 6 more men. I've not actually calculated my odds on holding because I don't know the result of the strafe yet. But the strafe is overwhelming in Russia's odds and profit. Let's have a look. So it looks like it's going to be a 2-round strafe. 28% conquer with 26 IPC profit. So yeah, definitely a 2-round strafe, and the reckons I'm going to lose 10 infantry which I would be very happy with. It seems that Japan will be left with 3 tanks remaining, which I really hope this is truthful. I really hope I can punish this. I don't think it's the right move, but the dice kind of determine that the way it is, right? I would assume this deserves punishment, but we will see. I really hope my dice do not let me down. The AA gun's here, but I have no planes in range. Yeah, there's a lot to be gained here, so I'm really hoping I can pull it off. So, US, I'm gonna probably stay on 8 transports. I'm gonna start buying heavy like artillery. I've already started doing it. I'm gonna get some tanks for Norway to apply more pressure to Karelia. And a bomber. I don't know if he's gonna want to it. Of course, I could get really, really unlucky with the Japanese hitbacks. And he might try his odds on Moscow before allies arrive. So I'm gonna really mount up that pressure on Karelia. And I'm actually gonna put the AA gun infantry forward. Because I'm not sure what Germany's doing. I don't know if Germany's gonna move into Caucasus, hit Moscow, or come back. US will also land in Archangel. I'm actually gonna move my fleet into 4. Because from what I can tell, Axis have no bombers near Europe and Atlantic. So Seazone 3 is actually completely safe from all Axis air. But I don't need my fleet here. I'm gonna go to 8 and 4. Yeah, this game's heated up all of a sudden because I was not expecting that. Alright. Let's lock this buy in. I'm gonna save the 2. Yeah, I need 2 here. Since I'm committing a transport to Archangel, I only need 6. Because I'm gonna have 2 surplus for the next shock. The next round 8 shock. Pretty sure. So I only need 6 ground in Eastern. And I want some tanks for that pressure. If Germany stacks Caucasus, that's very weird. So, actually, so if that strafe is telling the truth, that calculation, I mean, Japan has 3 tanks remaining. I don't know if it's worth Germany shoving their tanks and fighters there. UK would have 4 infantry, 2 tanks. Or infantry 2 tanks. That's 11. 11 versus 14. I don't know if UK will hit that. But Russia might have a round 2 on Kazakh. Yeah, it looks like Russia might have their work cut out for them. I'm pretty sure this is it, right? It's just taking this territory. Okay, it took the territory, that's what matters. guess I just do that. Japan is here, so I think UK's fine on its own in this area. Yeah, I think this is definitely the best choice. Just putting units on the board of this stack as distractions, and I might get some hitbacks, I think. Yeah, I mean, I could send it to India, but I just want to put it there, I think. Yeah, I don't think I'm making 1, 2, 3, 4 or 4. Nope. Japan 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, Germany has no bomber. Japan 1, 2, 6. Nope. Happening. I might as well just fully stack 4. I might want a carrier in 3 though, so I can go to 8. Or 6, I guess that's more realistic. Yeah, well, Germany has a 3v5 for 1 transport. That's far from worth it. Do I want to offer the fleet? I don't really need to. I'll do that. So yeah, Germany has 3 versus 4 for 1 transport. I'm happy with that. Japan can't reach 4. Yeah, alright, let's lock this in then. Everything's safe. Feels a little weird leaving 3 a little exposed here, but I think it's fine. Right, the important round here. So yeah, the aim here is to go in for 2 rounds. Average is I lose 10 infantry, which I'd be more than happy to take. Be more than happy to take the average here. I'll leave it Venki. The spare UK unit will probably move into a Venki to block the tank blitz. And any spare UK infantry in Russia will probably trade Novo to keep the J tank off of Vologda for a turn. Russia won't gain the income, but I'm trading for Russia with the UK, which is what matters. This is, I don't know why. Really hope I can punish this. I don't think Axis were in need of a YOLO because I really don't think so. I don't think they needed it. Germany's pretty strong this game, so I don't know if this warranted like a YOLO from Japan. But I might eat my words because the dice decide it all, right? So let's get on with it. Good luck to the Russian. It seems like... Right, I need to... He left it on keep. The weird one. 10 for 8 is bad for Russia. 17... 6-3 versus 5. I have a 30% to conquer. Wow. Wow, this could be the game, right? If I go again and my dice are too good, that's the game. But I kind of want to punish that. If I don't go again, Germany takes Caucasus and stacks their tanks and fighters there, and then Germany stacks shifts back into Karelia. Yeah. Which, that's really bad. So, for the sake of the Allied survival here, I think I have to go again. I cannot get too good a result here. The average is Japan has 2 tanks left. No, that's horrendous. That's game. There's not really much I can do now. Yeah, I think that is game. I'm gonna just YOLO stack this because I don't have any other choice. Because I'm losing so much allied material. Alright, well, let's have a look at the conquer result, because I conquered, because dice were too good on round 2. So it looks like I got 1 infantry above average remaining. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, I think that's pretty much game. I wish I just stacked Karelia then, but I can't predict that result. I was expecting a little too much. That's so bad. That's so bad. I'm essentially hoping that when Germany goes in, they take some of the most damage possible. Pretty much. Like, he needs to get a bottom result on taking Moscow here. Looting Moscow for 19 is really bad. It's really bad. That's definitely a turning point, and even if Allies recover, I think Axis do win this engagement real hard. I mean, you're taking out 7 planes. Yes, yeah, that's just, it is what it is, right? Alright, well, there's not really much that can be done except praying that the dice show mercy and Germany gets some of the worst dice imaginable when taking Moscow. I suppose Allies should look to YOLO Berlin, depending on the result. Because if I can take back the money lost, it's Allied favored again. Yeah, I think I will definitely look to YOLO this. Oh, that sucks. That sucks so much. It really does. Really unfortunate. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Alright, well, I'll be back with UK round 7. Alright, that is the end of this game here. Axis victory. I decided to forfeit after looking at the board much closely at the position. And I see no feasible way to recover after this failed strafe. It's just too much. Too much. Too much damage has been done. Too much material has been lost for the Allies. And Germany took losing only 11 infantry. And I've looked at options like a YOLO on Berlin. Allies have 0 odds on this. And Russia's odds on Moscow retake are not good. But Japan pretty much makes it impossible if they send all their fighters into Moscow. So the game is over. There's no way for the Allies to do enough damage to come back. It's just not happening. Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. The game seemed to have just ended abruptly like that, just because of one battle. Well, that's sometimes what it takes, right, to bring a game to a close. It was definitely an even game. Maybe Axis had a slight advantage, but yeah, rather unfortunate there. But yeah, GG and well played to duck and cover here. It was still a good game. There were some tough results. Well, only one tough result for Germany in particular. I did go over it, over the footage. The only thing that stands out is that Ukraine battle. I did calculate it to see the odds. What Germany sent wasn't a particularly strong attack anyway. I think Germany only had an 80% to win, 40% to conquer without a plane loss. So the attack wasn't that strong. It really wasn't. So I'm not too surprised about the result. Of course, Germany got 0 hits and lost 2 planes. Let's have a look at the exact result. I assume it's a 1-rounder. Alright, so looking at this Ukraine result for Germany, that was a bottom 0.4% result for Germany, and then a top 7% for Russia. Yeah, quite a big shift in dice there, definitely. That definitely gave the Allies some advantage, for sure. I think Japan failed Yakur with double hit back killing 1 dude, I would say. But after those bad results, Axis had very good trades, very efficient, and many hitbacks to compensate for the bad results here. I did calculate, well, I did go through the entire game and tallied up all the successful one-to-one trades. Now, one-to-one trade is an infantry plus air, or the attacker versus 1 infantry. So you're essentially trading 1 infantry for 1 infantry, plus the income of the tile, of course. Now, yeah, I was pretty interested because I felt like Axis were not having bad luck on their trades. Yeah, Germany had 3 out of 3. They succeeded 3 out of 3 one-to-one trades. So 100% success rate for Germany. And then Japan took a whopping 8 one-to-one trades, which is one of the highest I've seen in a while. And succeeded 7 out of 8, which is remarkable. So Axis had 10 out of 11 successful one-to-one trades, which is an overall 91%, around 91% success rate. Allies, on the other hand, Russia succeeded 2 out of 2, so not bad for Russia. UK took 5 battles, which was higher than I thought it was, but I think most of the time it was Burma. 4 out of 5 for UK. Then US failed 2. They did not succeed any, and they only took 2. So 0 out of 2 for US, which is overall 6 out of 9 for Allies, which is around a 66 to 67% success rate for Allies. Yeah, pretty interesting stats there. It definitely showed an impact with Axis having a near flawless performance. And bearing in mind that all the other trades, Axis were getting very, very consistent hitbacks as well. Just going over, like, I think it was Germany or loads of attacks and not many hitbacks. There was 2 in this one, but I think G5 was really good. Only 1 hitback. And in a KGF, you're trying to stretch Germany out so they take more hitbacks. But Germany was doing 1-to-1 trades as well as the regular trades and taking 0 losses. I think Japan, yeah, here we are. J5. All of these are 1-to-1 trades. Japan took 3 in 1 turn and succeeded all 3, which is so absurd. It may not look like it has a big impact, but I think round 6 and round 5 I was commenting, like, you know, Allied Axis have a pretty high attack power than usual. But I think it's down to the successful 1-to-1s. The lack of allied hitbacks on many attacks, I mean, they lost the bomber here, but again, just no hitbacks. 1 there, no hitbacks. Like, Japan took hardly any losses. Day 2 they did, but they had a pretty strong round 1. Only took 3 hitbacks. But it all adds up in the end. These minor battles, they all add up. So yeah, it looks like Axis went for a straight for Moscow strategy. I did not bother with expansion. And it worked out in the end. Yeah. Japan stacked into a dead zone. And I could strafe for 2 rounds, and the average being Japan has 3 tanks left. I went for that and it failed. Unfortunately, Russia's dice were a little too good in the second round. Conquered. The reason for going for the second round was Japan would have 5 artilleries, 3 tanks, and an AA gun left, I think. Germany would send their 8 tanks and 3 fighters, minimum. They might not even need to send planes. Or all their tanks, right? They could do a mixture. The UK punch would not be strong enough to weaken it, and then Japan would reinforce directly after, with their own planes. And that's, in my eyes, that's the game. Because Japan's established in Kazakh, Germany backs off into Karelia, with the infinite Karelia hold. And Japan would have the option to either just focus entirely on Moscow, or go for India. And Germany would have Karelia locked down, Berlin locked down. I'm not sure about France. I'd probably have to go for a YOLO France stack. But I think this was the Allies' best option for going for round 2 to deny that play and punish Japan severely. Unfortunately, it did not work out in the end for me. But yep. Besides that, this was a very good game still. So GG and well played to Duck. Alright, that's the end of this game here. As always, I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you in the next one.